I may have to start reevaluating my life decisions. Hey guys, I'm Kim with Mid-Level Media, and I'm about ready to give you my thoughts on the film Soul, the latest Disney Pixar film, which came out on Christmas Day alongside Wonder Woman 1984, which I also have a review of that you can check out. But before I get into the review and my thoughts on this movie, I'm going to go ahead and ask if this is your first time joining me here on the Mid-Level Media channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. If you enjoy content like this, movie-related content, Blu-ray and 4K related content, all that kind of stuff, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Become a part of the Mid-Level Media channel. I would definitely love to have you come and be a part of this community for weekly physical media updates, Blu-ray hunts, 4K Blu-ray reviews, movie reviews like this, all kinds of great stuff on this channel. I would definitely love for you to come check it out. Also, be sure to hit that like button, guys. Every single like will really help me out, really help this video move up those YouTube algorithms. I don't do a whole lot of movie reviews like this, so the ones that I do, I would appreciate it if you checked out, you hit that like button, and also comment down below. I know a lot of you saw this movie over the weekend. Like I said, it was released on Disney Plus on streaming for free, so a lot of people had access to it. So leave me your thoughts down below, what you thought of the movie Soul. I would definitely love to hear it. So with that, guys, let's go ahead and get into my thoughts and reaction of this movie. So I just finished this movie this morning, and this movie, guys, I always got to be honest with you guys, it was fantastic. I love this movie. For me, this is one of the strongest Pixar films. I'm not prepared to do a full ranking yet of where I would put this. This would most certainly probably crack my top 10 Pixar films. And this might quite possibly be my favorite movie of 2020. I know I said that a couple of weeks ago when I reviewed the movie Mank, because I really love that movie as well. Just everything this film brought to the table, this might have overtaken Mank to be my #1 movie of 2020. So this is definitely one that I'm going to want to check out again to see if I feel the exact same way the second time around. So this was one that, especially after the disappointment that Wonder Woman 1984 was, I don't mean to spoil my other review that I did, but I did not like that movie at all. So going into this, there was a lot of hype. A lot of people have been talking this movie up in the weeks leading up to it, the days leading up to its release. Early reviews came out. A lot of people are saying this is one of the best Pixar films. This is one of their top 5 favorite Pixar films. It's great. It's fantastic. I think it's got like a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes right now. A lot of hype going into this film. And man, do I love a movie that is like super hyped and I go into it and it just meets all of my expectations for what it can be. And this movie, it hits really hard in its themes and messages, but my God, is it beautiful. And at the end of the day, I really love this movie. So let's go into my positives, and then we'll get into a couple of my negatives, because I do have a couple of negatives that I want to note. So first off, guys, this is a really great script and story that felt original in its tone and its message and what it's trying to say. Like, I've honestly never felt this way watching a movie before, because it starts off a certain way, and I don't want to give any spoilers, but I might give some light spoilers as far as like what this movie's trying to say and the message of it, because I think the message of it is a really important one. It's a really good one. About halfway through this movie, and it's kind of lighthearted leading up to it. Yeah, there's some tragic things that happen and certain things, but it's got some funny moments, some funny comical beats, and then you hit this moment and you're like, oh, so that's what this movie's going to be about. You know, it starts off a certain way where you think it's going to be about ambition, following your dreams, and finding your purpose. And then this movie really kind of subverts that idea of finding your purpose, of trying to find what's the meaning of life. How are you going to contribute to the world? What is your spark? And a lot of movies go into that. A lot of movies will tell you that you have to go out there and find what makes you happy, what makes you passionate. It's important to do the things that you love, to be passionate about the things that you love, and to put all of yourself into it, all of your energy into it. And what this movie is telling you guys, spoiler alert, if you don't want to know anything about this film, go ahead and turn this off and watch the movie Soul and come back and pick it back up. But spoiler alert, this movie isn't about finding your purpose. This movie is about finding enjoyment in life beyond what your purpose is. And that is a really powerful theme. To be honest, like right now, I've got goosebumps even talking about it this way, because it is so hard to do what I do, because I work a regular job. I go to work every weekend. I work 40 hours a week. And then I come on here and do this because this is what I feel like I need to be doing. I need to be talking about movies. I need to be talking about Blu-rays, 4Ks. That's what I love. That's what I'm passionate about. And what this movie is telling you is sometimes you need to take a breath and you need to enjoy life. So it hit me in that way because I feel like I'm always going, I'm always on the move. I'm always doing the hustle and bustle of the YouTube, of the Instagram, of getting my latest reviews out and trying to build my brand and build myself up and doing all that stuff. This movie hit me because it's basically telling you that, hey man, take a breath, enjoy life, enjoy your family, enjoy your wife, your kids, the little moments in life that matters. Because if you're too locked in, if you're paying attention too much to this kind of thing, to doing this, to making reviews, to putting them up on YouTube, then you're not paying attention to the actual life that you were given. You are not living your life. You're not really fulfilling what it means to live. And that is such a powerful message to put out, especially for a kid's animated film. And I compare it to Inside Out in the way that had an equally strong message at the end about giving up your childhood, about giving up your things that you were passionate about when you're young aren't the things that you're passionate about when you get older, and how it hurts to leave those things behind because you know you're getting older and you can't do the same things that you did when you were a kid when you're older. So I had the same feeling watching this that I had when I watched Inside Out, and I would honestly say that this one maybe hit me even more profoundly. And if I was not watching this with my wife and my kids, because I always feel like I have to be strong when I'm around them, I probably would have bawled. I probably would have cried. It's just one of those movies that it hits you in these personal ways. I mean, this is why I love watching movies. I love watching movies like this, even though it kind of challenges me to think about a certain thing in a certain way that I live my life. It challenges you. It hits you in these emotional places that you didn't even realize that you had up and running. And it's such a beautiful movie. So let's get into the voice acting. You got Tina Fey, you got Jamie Foxx. They're voicing these characters in the movie. I thought they were really great because the entire time I was watching this movie, I knew that they were in it, but I never once heard them. I never once heard the actors. I only heard the characters. So to me, that's really strong voice acting. And I love Inside Out, but every time that Joy opens up her mouth, I hear Amy Poehler. Every time Disgust opens up her mouth, I hear Mindy Kaling. Every time Fear opens his mouth, I hear Bill Hader. So in this movie is completely different because I don't hear Tina Fey, I don't hear Jamie Foxx, I hear those characters. And to me, that's a sign of some really strong voice acting. So I thought they did a fantastic job. The animation was gorgeous. To be honest, this is like the best Pixar's ever looked. Just some of like, especially when they go into kind of like the heaven purgatory areas of the movie, just the overall like character design and the blue meshing with the backgrounds. I thought it was beautiful. Even when they get down on Earth, some of the nightclub scenes in the jazz nightclubs, they all look great. This movie just looks great as far as like animation. The score is done by Trent Reznor. And it is one of the best Pixar scores. There's a darkness to it, but there's also like a chipper, upbeat tone and some really like electric synthwave type stuff that's brought in there as well. I really enjoyed the score. It's one of the best that Pixar's done, to be honest. Probably top 5 for me, up there with like Michael Giacchino's Up score. For sure, and the score from Toy Story is fantastic as well, and The Incredibles. Those are probably like, this is probably up there with me with those movies as well. Let's get into some of my negatives, guys, because I did love this movie. I love this movie, and the negatives that I'm going to discuss really aren't negatives in the sense that like I think they're flaws with the movie. The movie's like damn near perfect to me, but I will say that it gets a little heavy with some of the themes and what it's trying to say, which may throw some kids for a loop if you're watching this. This is supposed to be a family film. This is supposed to be a kids animated film. I don't know how accessible some of these themes and what it's trying to say will be to children that is watching this movie. It definitely hit me hard. I don't think it's going to hit them in the same way when they watch this film. It has some funny moments in this movie, But overall, I wouldn't say this is a very fun movie. It's not necessarily a depressing film, but it does force you to think in some really, let's say, unfun ways. For an animated film, guys, yeah, it's just not a super fun movie. There are fun moments, there are funny things in it. I did laugh a few times during the film, but overall, it's not like a typical, it's not like a Toy Story, it's not like Incredibles. It's not fun in that way. That being said, guys, though, this is near perfection for me. I am giving Disney Pixar Soul a 9.5 out of 10. It is right up there with some of the best that Pixar has to offer. This was such an awesome surprise, especially at the end of this year, to get a movie like this. And with all the hype, I'm just so happy that I enjoyed it. So with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this video, end this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to leave your thoughts on Disney Pixar Soul in the comments below. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time.